subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hey, konnichiwa. Welcome to the Nupur Tiwari Show. And today we have very special guest, and he is none other than Dr. Gurpreet Sandhu. And he is the Council for Healthcare. He's the president of Council for Healthcare and Pharma. Not only that, he is the founder and director of Reva Pharma. So welcome to the Nupur Tiwari Show.
Thank you very much, Nupur. It's been great knowing you and understanding how you have single-handedly cultivated an organization for the Indo-Japan relationship. And on the other side, I think it's a most appropriate time for both the nations with the good work which our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji and the legacy he started with Abe-san has been further consolidated with Kishida-san, the current Prime Minister of Japan. The philosophy is very simple. Both nations have centuries-old legacy of Lord Buddha.
True.
You know, both the nations are God-fearing, peace-loving, and very hard-working communities.
True.
And with all this, I'll just like to give a very simple example. You know, if you go down to the World War Museum in Hiroshima, you know, the way it has been depicted by the Japanese community after getting a hard hit, losing many lives, the way they have expressed their feelings they command a salute in every way from every nation, every human being.
Exactly. Very rightly you said so.
It is exemplary, which is there. Right?
True. But for the viewers, I would like to say this was a very brief introduction of Dr. Sandhu. Actually, he's such an inspiration, especially I would like to say, especially since he's an Indian, especially for the Indian youth who are starting their life, who are starting their startup. And for everyone, on behalf of everyone and my own, curiosity, and I need to learn a lot of things from him as well. So you'd love to know about your journey a little bit, like small town ambitious boy, how you made this empire totally.
Well, it's I would first like to thank Almighty, the God, okay, who's given me a lot of encouragement, whose blessings are there, right? Secondly, I think I believe that if one has a drive and one has a gut passion to do something in life, you will always be successful. That is the mantra which I work upon. I work upon persistency. If I say, yes, we want to achieve something, there is always a way to do it. Well, I come from a town called Ludhiana, which is in Punjab, northwest of India. And coming from a bureaucratic family means my father and his brothers, they have been running the government for India. And we are also large-scale farming community, agrarian. Okay, I always had a passion to do something of my own, whereas my family wanted me to join the government because I was good in studies. I would not say brilliant, right, when I started, but the world taught me that education is everything. And when I realized I had completed my 10th and I was a little confused, like any teenager will be, right? What path to decide? I was initially thinking to become a doctor. And when I went to the first year of the college, become a doctor, I realized I could not see the sight of blood. So I said, I must take this and change my philosophy. And that is when I got myself introduced that instead of blood, I should look at money, which is a driving factor for the world. And with that passion, I did my first degree in agricultural economics, because India being an agrarian economy where 70% of the persistency of the GDP comes from agriculture.
True.
With that, I passed out in high grades in an American institute, and then did my first master's in business administration with specialization in marketing management. Won a fellowship of Rotary International America to do my second MBA in England, again in international business, which made me further understand how the world functions, what are the needs, where we as a nation have to, right? Then I joined the Tata Group in India, which was the largest conglomerate for our nation. I started my first job in pesticides and agriculture, right? And but as I walked and traveled across the globe, chemicals, the essence of chemicals actually made me realize that the largest business which is there in the world is a chemical sustainable thing. Whatever we breathe, whatever we are, whatever we touch, it's all a chemical structure, right? With that intent, I was working in the chemical sector, means fertilizers and agrochemicals. Late 2000, I would say in December 2000, I joined the pharmaceutical sector. And I would say 24 years have passed, still working strong in the pharmaceutical world. Immense learning, which I have done. I remember the day when I did not even know how to write the spellings of amoxicillin in the first grade, anti-infective. But my passion and my drive and blessings of Almighty, as I shared when we started a conversation on the subject,
And the
have brought me to a
determination, I
level.
would say, the determination,
Yes,
persistency.
when you have a self-determination, that's why I said that if you have a gut that you want to do something, you can achieve it.
True.
And as the journey passed by, I was successful in attaining my 2 doctorates. One is a doctorate in economics, and the second is an honorary doctorate in management. Okay, so that brought me further, I would say, mental balancing of understanding how the international community functions, right?
True.
And the drive I always had was a hunger to see the world. This is something else which also led me where I am today. I have been persistent in my travels and have completed 104 nations as of now.
Wow.
Both in terms of understanding the cultures, the philosophies of people which are living there. And these travels have been both business and private to see what we are. And I think it has changed my entire think tank of life. When we see that how the divide between the developed and the developing world is today. I will not call anybody undeveloped today, because the whole world is developing.
Developing.
Even if
True.
the biggest economy, I would say US and Japan, right? They say they are developed, but they are also learning every day. So
True.
the whole globe is in a learning curve today.
And the evolving. Sure.
Yes,
Totally.
I certainly endorse your thought process. It's evolving. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There are
Exactly.
challenges. There are challenges. Let's look at a nation like Japan, your nation. You
Yeah.
know, the population is aging.
Declining.
When declining is parallelly because there is no the young population is diminishing actually. So that is a very big concern for a nation like yours, right? Which has everything, but it has a very genuine problem on their shoulders.
True.
And I think this year they gave licenses, import permits to around over 100,000 people in Japan, which is for the first time. And how these multicultural people, how they will sustain in your community, which is a very, very organized, and a stringent regime nation. How
True.
the foreigners will behave and survive is a big learning for the local community and your government, which
Hmm.
probably will help them decide the further course of action which they need to address with respect to the aging population and the lower birth rates which are there.
Exactly. So here, I would like to interrupt you. So you said now we would like to go back to India. So now the present scenario, because you have seen the world, not only for your work, but for your own passion, you have traveled so many countries, 104 countries, you said. So
Yes.
now I think 108 very auspicious number in India. So maybe another four countries. Then,
He, a person aspires to do whatever he wants, but I would say let's see how things roll on in the next year, and if health permits, yes, definitely
definitely, I'm
we'll
sure
try to achieve it.
you will. So now, why India? Like why people and the world should look at India? We'd love to know from your perspective.
Nupur, see, it's not only being an Indian and my love for my nation. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the last decade
Mm-hmm.
has given a new ray of light
Mm-hmm.
uh, to the globe under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister,
Mm-hmm.
Modi San, okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, who laid out a working path to build and improve the internal dynamics of our nation, both internally and externally. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the I would say the biggest passion for this nation and the strength of this nation is population. People say it's negative. I would say it's positive. We are a nation of roughly around 150 billion people, the biggest population country in the world, multicultural, multi-diverse, right? Uh, but the world, and we are the youngest community in the world, having the
Exactly.
youngest number of the youth living in our nation. The youth is the buzz factor for our country.
And
They
the
have a
strength.
burning desire, a zeal to take the nation to the next level.
Mm.
And this zeal was supported by the government policies. Okay. We are today being looked upon as a nation of startups, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The younger youth has been encouraged by the government with various financial aids, uh, packages, modes across by the central government and the state governments to see
Mm-hmm.
that the startup community is growing.
Mm-hmm.
The second is the infusion of huge capital in infrastructure,
Mm-hmm.
quality of education improvement, uh, you know, building the sustainability of Atam Nirbhar, which is a policy where healthcare is being offered to the needy people in our country. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So with this whole philosophy think tank which started, all right,
Mm-hmm.
is changing the landscape for India. On the other side, uh, the people who left India for better opportunities, be it a nation like United States of America, be it United Kingdom, be it Germany, be it Australia, or for that, some people moved during around about 40 to 50 to 60 years into Japan from Gujarat, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
go to Kobe, you see
Yes.
this community, all right?
Yes.
They went as part of the bonded labor at that time. So everybody has added value to wherever they are.
Yeah.
The second aspect has been Indians took the path of education very seriously. They have done specialization in whatever field they are today. And as the added, and I'd just like to give you a very, very different example, not from Japan, from the United States of America. Every sixth American today is treated by an Indian doctor
Mm.
in the United States. That speaks in itself that quality of education, and the commitment of our community has taken them to that level. So two industries have become very prominent as we move forward. One is information technology, which is IT, and there have been immense companies from India today which are driving the philosophy and with a new buzz of artificial intelligence. I am very pragmatic, and that the next 10 years, India will be a nation which will be the sparkling light, for everybody to come and invest down here. On the other side, we have pharmaceuticals and healthcare domains, which have reached a level. And as India has called the pharmacy to the world, this is very important, Nooper, for you to understand that we as a nation are offering affordable and quality medicines to not only the developed nations, but also the developing world.
Yes, that's very true. Very true. Yes. So here I'd like to interrupt a little bit. So here is the pharma, which actually the core business of yours, and you are doing a lot of things with Japan also. So now, how Japan and India, when it comes to R&D in pharmaceutical, how it can be like, what is your suggestion would be to bring them closer when it comes to pharma?
I think, Nooper, you actually touched a very important point. This is something which is which I have been requesting and seeking the guidance of our government, Ministry of Health and Labor Welfare, Japan, and the trade associations in your country, which play a very dominant role in the growth of the industry. See, the most important thing to understand and respect is that Japan is the Makkah of research and development.
Yes.
I would say 67% of the new drug development happens from Japan, which itself is very critical to understand, and people don't respect it. That the Japanese scientists are giving the new ray of hope and longevity of life to the entire community on this earth. As a nation, what we express that it was the second largest pharmaceutical market in the world until China took it over, and Japan is now number third. Very important to understand, with a population of around about 115 million, it is still the third largest market in the world. Whereas if you look at the United States, the number is the very variance, right? I will share you a data which you probably can, which we will not discuss now, but I'll send you the data which you can actually incorporate in your submission.
So yes, for the viewers, for the data and everything, for more information, definitely do subscribe our magazine where all the data will be there. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. So with this philosophy, I felt that the biggest coordination and understanding and support will be the R&D, which is the strength of Japan. Number two, there are examples which are so positive today. The car industry revolution for our nation has been done by Japan. Suzuki Motors, which was the first, I would say, large establishment by the Japanese into India. With this persistency, number one, the government collaborative approach between Japan and India. Third, the confidence and the strength which the Japanese entrusted upon the Indians, right, has resulted in today that it is the largest car company of India, with holding over 50% of the market share. Today, I am very proud to tell, and this is great applauding to the Suzuki company, that they are releasing the latest model which they manufacture in India across the globe as well. With positiveness of such a level brought in hordes of companies into India. I think around about 1,500 Japanese companies are today operating on the Indian soil, right? Across borders of various industries. On the other side, my thought process, which I've been embarking to the uh, Japanese government and the trade associations in Japan. I have met across in the last 6 months, met across various pharmaceutical boards and the senior managements at the professional level, requesting them that India needs support not only on R&D, but also finished drug product coming from Japan in area domains of diabetes,
Yeah.
women healthcare, especially on the reproductive side, cardiovascular problems, and the biggest issue, which I presume which people don't like as a stigma in my nation, in my country, is the mental illness. So if Japan, which always looked upon the bigger markets of United States, I would say India today is a second home for them to look at my nation, my community as a very large business growth sector for them. This is the second point. Third is the housing quality, which is a big strength today in Japan. How the Japanese conglomerates, like the Mori family, which started on the construction, have reached a different pinnacle. That multi-story building, a 90-story building or a 50-story building in a very short span of time. Okay. And sustaining the tsunami and the earthquake models is the biggest strength which the Japanese have shown and are living examples for the entire global nations. So, as a nation, India needs infrastructure support. So, when I say infrastructure, means roads, trains like Shinkansen-san, which already the first project was initiated between Abe-san and Modi-san, and it is reaching the ray of light. And I'm very
Mumbai to
positive
Ahmedabad.
that,
Mumbai to
yeah,
Ahmedabad. Yes.
I'm very positive. I would say in the next 2 years we will have
Shinkansen.
Shinkansen-san, a bullet train running in our country. But yes, that is a minuscule example.
True.
India needs probably
More
100
than
such
that.
trains, routes
Yeah.
which can be done. And I'm very positive the vision path which our government is laying with the Japanese support, cooperation will further grow.
Definitely, definitely, sir.
Yeah.
And you have been trying, for this, and I'm sure that Japan and India can become each other's strength with the population strength, our market, and their R&D, and whatever the points are, the 2 points you said. It can be bigger market for them.
Yeah. So not only we become a home domain market for Japan, India, vice versa on the pharmaceutical side, because I'm speaking specific to the pharmaceutical industry. India, as expressed earlier, being the pharmacy to the world, is offering affordable medicines. And that is the reason why we have taken a very closer, cohesive approach with the support of the Japanese government, with the big boys in your country, both at the uh, generic level as well as the innovator companies level, to supply the basic seed of the pharma, which is the API, which is called active pharmaceutical ingredient, right? So that initiation has been started, right? And I am very positive. This big step between Japan and India will pave the approach of cross-border supply and build up of the pharmaceutical industry, both ways between
Mhm.
our nations. We offer them the market, they give us the R&D, we give them the API, and they reduce the cost of their products and bring down the healthcare cost in Japan, which is a need of the hour considering the aging population of your nation.
Very rightly you said, sir. And so, like you addressed all the problems, like both countries. And we just, if we go, just the way you said, I think we can almost 100% problem we can solve, and we can be strength of each other, the Japan, India. And you
Yeah.
are working on
And
that.
yeah, yeah. And you'll be very happy if I tell you that around what 11 years ago, if we had to have the Japanese sushis, sake, or good Japanese cuisine, we would have to go and shell a lot of money at the expensive restaurants.
True.
But today, I'm able to tell you that in the Greater Delhi region, which is called the NCR, which comprises of Gurgaon, Delhi, and Noida, there are at least now 35 to 40 restaurants, which itself shows that people love the Japanese cuisine.
True.
And vice versa, in your nation, people like the chicken curry and the naan, right?
Yes.
So I'm very sure as the nations intermingle, people travel across both the parts of the world, the bondage will further grow. Uh, One more thing I would like to share with you that a great vision path has been laid on the tourism side, Buddhism to Buddha tourism. That Gaya has the birthplace of Lord Buddha has an international airport, which was not heard of, but I would say the push and the commitment of Modi-san to the people of Japan has resulted in, you know, the laying of the new opening of the new airport. And if this is further cultivated with direct airlines flying in people, not only the tourism will grow, understanding of the cultures will further imbibe uh, the wealth between both our nations. Uh,
Wow.
you know, yeah. So I have grown in my life looking at brands like Sony. We will not buy any other television, even if its Sony brand was expensive. We felt that's the quality which every household should have. Seiko as a watch was the first company which was on people's wrist of only the rich people would have it today, but it's now becoming an affordable brand, right? So things are changing, and there's a lot of learning which is there for both our nations. So
Yeah.
I
And the
am
people
I'm
like
very
you, people like you,
no, no,
the
no.
way you are.
I am doing my part of the story, okay, my part of the role, to see how best the growth between our countries can happen. On the other side, I am also very positive that the connectivity today, which is there in very few major cities between, Japan and India, that is Delhi, Bombay, and Tokyo, Osaka. This will further increase with the Indian uh, government opening its skies to the Japanese air carriers and vice versa from India. So the next 5 years will, if God willing, we connect ourselves uh, in another session, right? The figures, the reality, what the thought process which we both are sharing today will become a reality, right? And the Japanese industry, the Japanese public will start building itself larger. Uh, I always say Japan is a different world.
True.
It's a world which is so different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you can only see and visualize and learn it if you
Mm-hmm.
physically travel there. So my
Yeah.
humble request to whoever is listening uh, through your process of distribution of your magazine and your show.
Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's very, very critical that Japan is a market. People are so peaceful. I would say, I just want to tell, sorry, I always remember when I touched the soil of Japan. All right, I must have traveled around about 60 odd times to Japan. Two things which you as a community, as a nation offer: safety and free drinking water. I can never forget this. You go anywhere in the best of the property, it might be the best fine cuisine, restaurant, or on the roadside, or a cafe, water is free. It's pure drinking water. Number two is safety. You can leave your things anywhere on a street and you can come back and pick it up. They'll be there. So we need to, as for India is concerned, there is so much to learn, so much to, uh, in terms of integrity, in terms of transparency, in terms of systems, in terms of commitment of population. That if we are able to learn some good things from the Japanese community, it will help in building our country to the next level, which is the vision as a nation we hold. All right. So to summarize what we have been sharing, R&D is the genesis of growth mantra. Right? Mutual respect, trust, and transparency. I would say this is what I've learned from the Japanese community. If we are able to imbibe all this collectively, it will yield not only the buildup of our nations, but happiness, prosperity. And we want, as an India, as a nation, to also see 80 plus community thinking to have a new startup. I was very touched when I met a taxi driver during my last travel. So I asked him, I said, oh, when did you start driving a taxi? He says, I was living happily, but one day I thought I must do something. He said, I drive a taxi in the evenings, but now I'm thinking of launching my own brand. So I said, what's your age?
Wow.
So he says, I'm nearly 80. So that brought a separate kind of an awakening, a chill which gave in my body,
Hope.
that in
Yeah.
my nation, a person is told that he's written off.
Hmm.
But here, this gentleman has a drive in himself to do something better, leave another mark on this earth with his passion and his commitment. So I think there are so many living examples from Japan,
True.
which, if they are shared across the
Hmm.
communities, right, it
Hmm.
will help a lot.
Let's do that.
So I think,
So,
Nupur,
yeah.
you and your organization are doing great work, not only connecting communities, but also uh, preaching. I would say, we use the word, a very strong word, preaching across uh, the government sectors, bodies, that there is India can be a second home for Japan, and for India, Japan community can be a family if we are cultivating this mutual drive between our nations.
Definitely so. And you are an totally inspiration for me, the way even you are working. And let's do it. Let's connect more and need to learn a lot of things from you so we can, the connection can be deeper. So for the viewers, I would like to say from now onwards, we'll be having the pharma section as well. And sir is always there. We will bring him. And today's very serious discussion, it was complete business. Next time we'll have some chit chat and we'll be talking about lighter things as well.
Thank you very much, Nupur. Very kind, and God bless you. And you will have unflinching support from our side, so that we can cultivate the pharmaceutical sector from India into Japan and Japan into India, and seek the R&D capabilities of the Japanese, not only in pharma, but also in the hospital sector, where we really need it.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
so
Very
much
kind of you. Yeah.
enlightening
Thank you.
for us. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Arigato gozaimasu. Namaste. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.